Hello and welcome to a video all about loading and unloading your Kodak half-frame camera. Now this is the H35N model, but it's the same principle with the H35. It's a beautiful, simple point and shoot film camera, and I'm going to show you how to get started. So the first thing to do is open the back. Now it's a 35mm film camera. I've got here some Kentmere black and white, but it works with any 35mm film, so Kodak color film, Ilford black and white, anything else that you want to try, but this is the one that I've got here for us today. Now the first things to check with your camera, this should be a little spring, bounce up and down a little bit. This dial should move both left and right quite freely, and the point of this is just to guide the film negative through the camera, nothing more. This one is similar, but it's a bit more important, so it'll move to the left quite freely and then it'll stop, and what it's there for is it actually cocks the shutter. Did you see? So it moves and then stops. Press the shutter button. There we go. It will move back quite freely, although it'll make a clicky sound. We'll hear again later. But that's what it's there for, is the film moves through, stops until you take a photo so you don't overwind it. Then down here, this moves the whole film on, so you push it to the left and you can see the spool rotates with it. You can't push it back the other way, that doesn't work at all. And the spool is engaged with it unless we press that button, which again we'll come on to later. So this is all ready to load our film. We grab our film, we pop it in at the top here, push it in nice and firmly, so make sure it lies nice and flat. There we go, this looks beautiful. Now the instruction manual will often say something like, you just leave your film there, close it and wind. But what we find is that often that works at the start, but after a couple of photos the film will sort of disengage from the spool and you'll either rip the sprockets or it'll jam, or you won't shoot very much or you get a whole blank roll of film. So we don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you a little trick. So you pull it out a little bit, feed it in here, and push the film into its past. So the second hole catches on that little tooth. The second hole. So now there's a little bit of film inside this spool that stops it from sliding back. And then you make sure the teeth are caught. Teeth are there, teeth are there. This is all looking very good. Yep, so then we can close that up. Make sure it clicks shut. Yep, all good. And then, oh, now it's stopped because you press the shutter. Wind on. Oh, stop. Press the shutter. Wind on. This is working well. And what you can see up here is we're moving through past the S towards the 1. So we're taking lots of photos here. Everything's going well. The other thing you'll notice is that this will start to rotate. And that means that the film is caught all the way through. All good. Let's say we've come to the end of our roll of film now. So what we want to do is we want to disengage the spool from this dial because we want it to go back. So you press that button in nice and strongly, flip this out and then in line with the arrow, and you will feel some resistance. Here, if you're pulling the film, you can hear the clicking. We know that that's that dial we heard earlier is clicking as it goes through. And when that dial stops clicking, think you know that the film is finished. Keep rolling, keep rolling, keep rolling. And what I'm doing now is I'm making sure that all the film is safely back in the cassette, nothing to expose to light. Keeping it open, see how I've done? There we go. Completed roll of film. And of course then you can just send that off to the lab. Happy days. Load your next roll of film in there. Pop it in there. And off we go. Have a wonderful time.